with Angela Yee, and it is a Wealth Wednesday, and we're talking today about things that I love. And Stacey Tisdale is here, my partner.
Happy Wealth Wednesday, everybody, and we are very excited to talk about the thing that Angela loves the most, actually, and that's real estate.
Let's go.
And we have an amazing human being with us here, Sayam, Ibrahim, who is the founder of Hero Homes U. This company has done 1,400 real estate transactions, has a portfolio of $250 million, a hotel in the Dominican Republic. You have over 600 rental units worth $80 million, but you started with a $45,000 investment with your brother. How does this happen?
Yeah, so look, I was in corporate America, right? I'm a son of two immigrant parents. Mother is Dominican, father's Ethiopian, and actually grew up in New York City, right? This lovely city right here.
Yep.
And, I was always taught to go the traditional route. Go to school. My parents pushed me. They instilled in me hard work ethic. And I went to school, got a scholarship to Georgetown, Jackie Robinson Scholar. Post that, they got me a job on Wall Street, actually. So I worked at Goldman Sachs, but I realized very quickly that wasn't for me. All right, I didn't like the grind, didn't like the 80-plus hour work weeks, didn't like someone telling me that I could or couldn't do something. So, I actually quit cold turkey, didn't know what I was going to do, flipped cars in the meantime, trying to figure out what I was going to do. And my brother found an awesome house in Newark, New Jersey, no systems, didn't know what we were doing. All we knew was that it was an ugly house surrounded by pretty houses. That was our whole system.
You buy the worst house on the
Yeah,
block.
exactly. Bought it for $45,000, borrowed $2,000, $3,000, $1,000. In the end, we got the money, bought it, renovated, sold it, and made $60,000 in our first deal.
You were like, got the bug.
Yes.
I want to ask you this, though. When you say that one day you quit cold turkey, was there something that happened?
Absolutely.
So what was that thing that propelled you to be like, I'm out?
Yeah, so I've been with my wife since high school. Right, we're high school sweethearts. So my lovely wife, Nicole, if you're listening, all right, I got a lovely, amazing wife, Nicole. All right. So, I wanted to get married with her, and I gave my boss a few months heads up notice that I was going to take a few weeks off because we want to go to Hawaii. We had this whole plan thing, right? And they said, yeah, no problem. Come the time to take off, they said, look, it's busy season. We can't let you do that. You got to reschedule.
You're like, I'm getting married.
Yeah, I was like,
to my
what?
high school sweetheart, the love of my life.
Yeah, I was like, what?
You're like, that's not going to work.
And you gave them advance notice.
Yep.
Right.
So I quit cold turkey. Didn't know what I was going to do. My dad darn near disowned me because he was like, you've killed your entire shot at becoming a millionaire.
Right.
Right. I didn't come from money. So this was the avenue that I thought I was going to make it big. And I quit not knowing what I was going to do. And luckily I landed on real estate.
That's crazy that somebody could be that disrespectful to you, but that is the catalyst. Because clearly before that, you already weren't really feeling it, right? You say 80-hour work days.
Of course.
And 80-hour work weeks. And nowhere you have an 80-hour work day. But yeah, and then just feeling like you're a hamster in a wheel.
Yeah.
And
Welcome to Wall Street.
Yeah.
Welcome to Wall Street, exactly.
And I know I always see in the movies like they talk crazy. Is it like that in real life?
Oh, man,
Yeah.
get cursed out on the regular.
I can't do it.
All right, get cursed on the regular. I had to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning every day. I was living in Jersey City at the time, taking the PATH train, 5 o'clock in the morning every day. I wouldn't leave before 9, 10, 11 o'clock at night most
Terrible
days.
quality of life.
Horrible. All right?
So yeah, we could have a whole conversation about Wall
Right.
Street.
Yeah.
Well, tell us about Hero Homes U.
Yeah, absolutely. So Hero Homes U is something we started. We've coached 10,000 people plus over the years, but I did it in an informal manner. So a little over a year ago, we said, let's make it formal, right? Let's show people what we do in our real estate business all day, every day. And we target people that feel like they're stuck, right? People that are stuck in the rat race. Maybe you're doing well at your job, right? And you're on paper, you're doing well like I did like 15 years ago when I was on Wall Street, but you're stuck. Your bank account's not growing. You're barely fighting inflation, right? And we show them what we do all day, every day, twice on Sunday, right? And all they have to do is copy and repeat what we show them, and they can close their first, second, third, and many deals beyond that.
Do you think it's a lot harder now? Because I keep on hearing people talk about the way the real estate market has been with the interest rates, even being able to purchase a home has been extremely difficult. And I have a lot of my friends who are like, look, I want to buy my first house, but I don't know how it's ever going to be possible.
So I'm on the investor side of it, I'm a big believer that regardless of what interest rates are doing, people need to live somewhere, right? Whether they're going to rent a home, whether they're going to buy a home, people need to live somewhere, right? So real estate's always going to be moving regardless of where interest rates are. Get in it. Just get in it. Now is always the best time to buy real estate, right? Now stands for no opportunity wasted, right? If you're not buying real estate now, you're wasting that opportunity.
What if people feel like they don't have that chunk of money to put down, though?
Oh, man, that's my wheelhouse all day long.
Okay, good. Let's talk about it.
That's my wheelhouse all day long, right? Getting into deals strategically, getting into deals creatively is how you can get into real estate. There's so many different ways you can buy a property and not really need a lot of money, right? There's this huge misconception that you need, big cash, big savings to buy a real estate deal, and that's all cap, right? There's hard money that'll fund the majority of your deal. You can get JV partners, right? You can have the seller become your lender, right? And do a seller holdback where they fund your down payment. So you really don't need a lot of money to get into the game, right? And actually, I prepared something a little special for your people that are watching this show, right? I have a millionaire funding program, right, where I show you how you can buy real estate with not a lot of money out of pocket, right? And I'm going to give it to all your people for free for listening today, right? We charge for this, but I'm giving them real game because I want them to go out there and close their first, second, and third deal.
So you text HERO to 689-215-7664. We'll be saying that again. But I was reading that you had a student who had a credit score in the low 500s.
Correct.
That's another issue for people.
And you help them
think.
still buy a property. How's that even possible?
Yeah. So, we talk to all the students. We understand what their situation is, and we're able to pair students up. So one student might have cash. Another student may have, credit. And we'll say, look, you guys have the perfect situation if you guys come together. And we're able to pair them together, and they close not one, they didn't close not two, they're about to close their third deal on December 3rd, all right, in less than 12 months. Now, that's something to be said right there.
I know you're teaching them to buy and flip, to buy and rent.
It's a combination of everything, right? So we have something that we coined a couple years back called the flip to freedom method. So for every 3 properties you buy, you flip 2, which covers your now money, right? That covers things like your bills. That allows you to stack up cash, get your money, right? And then the third one, you keep it for your future money as passive income, right? Too many people don't get into the rental game and they pay the price long term. Right? When you own rental properties, when you own real estate, you actually pay less in income taxes on your flips. You pay less in income taxes on your JOB income, right? And so I show them, start buying rentals now. And 2, 3, 4 years down the line, you have a couple and you've now replaced your income so you can go and fire your boss if that's what you decide you want to do.
Yeah, that's something that for me has always been a situation where I want to make sure I'm always okay.
Absolutely.
And so I do have some rentals that have definitely been able to supplement whatever it is that I have going on. So I'm planning now for the future so that at some point, if God forbid, you never know what's going to happen in the future, like you say, I at least know that I can take care of things, and hopefully more than that as I'm continuing to grow my portfolio.
Absolutely. Rentals are beautiful, right? They give you cash flow, right? So you get $500 a month on a rental. You spend that $500 a month. Guess what? It comes back again next month, and then it comes back again next month. It's truly passive income. Rentals tend to appreciate over time. I'm literally selling rental properties for $250,000 that I paid, $95,000 for 6-7 years back. And all I did is own it, hold it, cash flowed over time. And rentals have what's called depreciation, which allows you to reduce your taxes. Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely do that.
Exactly.
And one thing that people also have to understand, because sometimes people think mortgages aren't good, right? So I want to talk about that either, because people have this misconception like I owe money, and that's a bad thing. Like I don't want to be in debt. I don't want to have a mortgage.
So there's good debt and there's bad debt. Mortgage is good debt. It allows you to leverage and own assets that you don't have the money for, right? So if you get a mortgage on a property that's going to cash flow, guess what? You're not coming out of pocket for that mortgage every single month. Your tenant is paying that mortgage. Your tenant's paying the principal down. You're holding it, allowing the real estate to appreciate over time. Yeah, you have little dips in the middle, but long-term, real estate goes up.
They're financing your asset.
Exactly. They're financing your asset.
And the truth is, I have an Airbnb, and the main thing with my Airbnb is even if we're just covering all of our bills every month, and the mortgage, but including like everything else, the security system, the cable system, the gas, the propane, everything that we have to pay for, but we're not having to pay anything per month. And so we're still owning something that is going to be worth more. And then when we sell it, and that's the same thing with my rentals that I love, is the fact that I have a property that I bought, and it's been for the past 5 years, always had a tenant in there. And I've already made back, like it's already worth about maybe 25% more than what I paid for it a few years later. But then I also have rent coming in every single month. And so it's kind of like, okay, that was a definite come up.
Yeah, no, look, that's it. You can't go wrong with a rental property.
I want to talk about hard money loans, though, because I have mixed feelings about that. And so I want you to explain to people what hard money loans are, because I also feel like if you're not experienced in this scenario, sometimes a hard money loan can set you up for failure because there are so many things that can potentially go wrong. Because I feel like in real estate, you always have to prepare for things not to work out in the manner and the time that you plan.
Yeah. So hard money loans, they're professional lenders that lend to investors like us, right? Their whole business model is lending to people like us. Don't let the name confuse you. It's not hard to get. It's actually very easy to get. It's called hard because it's expensive money. It's not your 5-6% at one of your regular retail banks. You might be paying 9, 10, 11, even 12%. But I don't get scared of paying those high rates because I'm not paying that personally. The deal pays that, right? So I much rather get a 9, 10, 11% loan and make a few $1,000s less on a flip or a burr if I'm going to keep it as a rental, right? Then don't do the deal and make nothing, right?
See, the hard part about the hard money loan to me, though, is that if you don't have money for when things go wrong and you miss a payment, they can potentially own your property, or if you have to put 100%. Something up as collateral. And so to me, sometimes that is because, and I had to learn that. I was talking to John Hope Bryant, and I was actually about to do a deal. And we managed to actually get a construction loan from a bank, because I would rather have done that than do a hard money loan. And so it was scary to me because they were like, we need you to put your house up as collateral. And I was like, I don't want to do that because God forbid anything could go wrong.
Of course.
Yeah. And who knows? Like the house could end up being a lemon. There's so many unpredictable variables that I just wasn't comfortable with that.
Yeah. So deals are risky if you don't have margin, right? So that's why I teach our mentees to buy deals with margin. So the better margin you have, the deeper you buy that property, the less risk that deal has. So it can withstand all of the high interest rate.
Talk to our audience about margin.
So margin just means spread. Let me say another name for that. You're buying it cheap relative to value, right? So if a house is worth $100,000, I tell my mentees not to be all in on that property at no more than $70,000, even $65,000 for purchase and repairs. That way, that 30, that 40, that 35% spread is a buffer, right? So if you have to get out the property or you find something that you didn't anticipate, you know what? You got the spread to cover it.
So it's really important to, especially people out hard money lenders, to know who you're dealing with.
Absolutely.
Just like with real estate mentors like yourself, there's a lot of bad actors out there, an awful lot in both spaces.
Absolutely.
Talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, and look, I actually know a few personally that I've tried to talk out of doing what they're doing. Right? There's all these fake gurus out there that they read a book and they try to teach people how to get in the game and buy their first real estate property, but they aren't really doing the business. So what I tell people that if you're considering hiring somebody or engaging with someone to teach you how to do something, make sure they're actually doing what they're teaching you.
Right.
All right. So in real estate, we have something called a HUD, which is like a closing statement. It's a summary of the deal. Right. So if you're going to hire a mentor to show you how to buy real estate, make sure they show you their HUDs. Or say, hey, show me your HUDs. If they have HUDs 10, 20, 30, 40, then they've got experience, right? Our difference between those guys out there is that, they're not actually doing the business. When I was doing 30, 40, 50 deals, I was still learning the business. Right. I know people that did 5, 10 deals that think that they're qualified to teach. You haven't seen anything with 5, 10 deals. There's so many things that can happen, right? We've done, warehouse facilities, rental properties, new construction, fix and flips, multifamily apartment buildings, a hotel in the Dominican Republic. So we've done so many different aspects of real estate that we can talk from experience.
You've done over 1,400 transactions.
Over 1,400 transactions, over $250 million in real estate. So we know a little thing or two.
Tell me about the hotel in Dominican Republic.
She wants to know all about the hotel in Dominican Republic.
Absolutely. So I'm half Dominican and half Ethiopian. My parents met in Manhattan. I grew up in the Lower East Side, Alphabet City, as a kid. And, I always wanted a reason to invest in my roots. So I wanted to invest in Dominican Republic and I wanted to invest in Ethiopia. We've got DR, checked off the list. Africa's coming soon, right? We bought a hotel in the Dominican Republic on the North Coast, an area called Cabarete, which is part of the Puerto Plata area, if you've ever heard of it. And it's beautiful. It's 71 rooms, has a restaurant, retail. It was dilapidated when we bought it. So we have different strategies. We teach our mentees how to buy real estate, discount, and off-market direct to owner. And this is exactly that. We bought it from a retiring landlord, someone who owned it for 20, 25 years plus. He let it get run down.
Yeah.
He was tired. He was sick. As a matter of fact, he unfortunately passed away as soon as we bought it. And we structured it with creative financing. We had seller financing. The seller became our lender on that deal. We brought private lenders, so we were able to bring people to get the deal funded. We closed it. We bought it for $2 million, invested over $800,000 in renovations, and it just recently appraised for $6 million.
Yeah, and say that's not bad.
That's a $3 million upside on one deal.
Right.
And I've seen videos and stuff. You really walk your students through start to finish, like you're in the deals with them, which I think also makes a big difference.
Absolutely. We host a mastermind every quarter, and we bring them to our hotel, and we show them how we acquired it, how we funded it, how we structured it, what the exit strategies are in the hotel. So I'm all about thinking outside the box. So we've done this on multiple occasions. We've done it in Ohio, we've done it in Florida, in Atlanta, and we've done it in DR. We take the building and we separate it into separate parcels, like condos. All right. So we have 71 condos in that property. So if I wanted to go and sell each condo, I can sell each one for $100,000 plus.
Right, and make even more.
And make even more money than what the property is worth.
And is that something that when you do something like that, that you have to have like the proper permitting? Like, how does that work?
Yeah,
because
it's actually
I know
very
with the real
easy.
estate, a lot of times you can't just do what you want sometimes with parcels. But so how do you check on that?
Yeah, so if you go to the zoning department and you find out what the requirements are to separate a building to separate units, almost every building can qualify for this. And it's something that a lot of people don't think of. They look at a duplex and they only look at it as a 2-unit property. All right. We bought a property in Columbus, Ohio. I remember Brighton Road. I remember it was like it was yesterday. This is 10 years ago. And we paid $200,000 for this duplex. The property was only worth $300,000 as a duplex, but we separated down the middle and made each one a separate parcel. And we sold each side for $250. A slight discount to what the overall value was. But you know what? People can afford it more. So when you make it more affordable, now there's more people out there to be able to buy it, right? And we did that, and we just repeated that process multiple times over. So when you think outside the box, deals that otherwise don't look like deals become deals because other people aren't assessing in that way. And that's something that we've done very good at.
So many people are listening to this and they're like, yeah, this sounds great, but it's for other people, not for me. And you say in our community, a lot of limiting beliefs about wealth, and that's really why you're doing this.
Absolutely. I'm doing this for our community, our Latino, our African-American communities, right? Our people of color, right? We've been conditioned to believe that we can't do things, right? And there's a quote that I heard a couple years back that if you believe you can, if you believe you can't, you're right. So if you enter the game already thinking you can't do it, you've already lost the battle, right? So I'm trying to instill belief, instill excitement, and help people change their lives. And I truly believe that real estate's the best vehicle to make that happen.
Now Let's change your life right now. What's something somebody can do right now?
Yeah. So if you want to get your first deal and you want to close your first deal in the next 30 days, if you follow these exact steps, you will close your first deal in the next 30 days, right? Something that we've done very well, and no one else is targeting this, is just go to your local water department and find people that are delinquent on their water bills. Ooh. Right? If someone owns $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 on their water bill, that shows financial distress.
I just had a huge water bill issue on my house. But it was because when I was renovating my home, and this is such a New York thing, first of all, my water bill, was like, and I had no idea it was this price. It was like $16,000.
For a window?
The water bill.
Oh, wow.
And the reason was because while the house was being renovated, we had a stop work order, and it was boarded up. So they weren't delivering mail to the house at all. So I didn't even think about a water bill. I never was getting any mail at all. And so when I finally went and moved into the property and get this water bill, I actually called them because I was like, hey, what's, going on with the water? Because it takes a long time to even get them to come and install the meter.
Sure.
And so it took like months for them when you make an appointment to come and install it. So the guy came, I called them and I was like, I don't know, I haven't gotten a water bill. Like, what's going on? And that's when they told me that my water bill, and I was like, this has to be a mistake. No one's been living there for years.
$16,000.
I was like, and it's really all penalties. And so they put all these penalties, even though there was no water being used. And then there wasn't the meter. When it got installed, they said it was like some type of like stolen meter, some whole thing. But I'm like, I wasn't even getting mail. I didn't know about it.
Yeah, of course.
And so,
Did you have to pay it?
I don't know what's going to happen, but what I had to do was set up, because I also don't want them to shut off my water, and I don't want it to be more penalties and more. But, I did have like a water meter installed, and then I have to, you can do a payment plan up to 10 years on it.
Sure.
That's
You know,
smart.
yeah. So I was like, I'll set that up, but I think it's a really unfair situation because no one was using water and I wasn't getting any bill.
In that scenario, you got screwed, right?
Yeah.
The scenario I'm talking about though is like people that are everyday people that have a water.
Not Angela.
Yeah, not Angela's
Not
situation.
Angela.
But apparently this is a very common
No,
thing.
it happens
though. People,
to people. I've been in
yeah.
this same situation. She knows that I had some trouble with. I have a rent out my late parents' house, and a tenant did a bunk, and all of a sudden wasn't getting mail there, and all of a sudden I see these oil bills and water bills. I'm like, nobody's been in there,
Right.
and I hadn't been to the house in a long time and gotten mail in a long time.
It's like
and all
a
of a sudden it's
sham.
like thousands
They
of
get you,
dollars.
yeah.
It's like nobody's there. But anyway, talk about why that's a good thing.
Yeah. So look, if someone owes thousands of dollars in their water
Vented,
bill,
sorry.
all right, no, it's all good. It's all good. All right.
It's triggering.
I've had those same experiences. I had a toilet leaking. I didn't realize it was leaking. You get a $2,000 water bill.
You're like, what happened?
You're like, what happened, right? It's $50 normally. So if someone is behind on their water bill, $3,000, $4,000, number one, what it tells me is that they're financially distressed, right? If you can't pay your water, it means there's other things you're not paying, all right? So that's one. Number two, if the water bill is $4,000, chances are the water's off in the house. And if the water's off, more likely than not, the house is vacant because
Right.
it's 2024. Ain't nobody living in a house with no water, right? So that's another level of motivation. So you can go to the local water department and get a delinquent water bill list. If they don't give that to you there, you can also go to your recorder's department for your county and get a recent utility liens filed, right? Same thing. It's just a different name for it. And you can start marketing those people. You skip trace that list, get the phone number, shoot them a text. And if you text 100 people that have $5,000 plus water bills, you will absolutely have your first dealing contract in the next 30 days, right? You just have to go out and do it.
Right.
Right. I can give them information to you all day long, but you have to go out and do it. And that's what we teach our mentees how to do, how to think outside the box to get leads that people otherwise would never, ever even consider.
And some people are relieved to actually be able to not have to go into foreclosure or not have to
Absolutely.
deal with that. They rather let's handle this so that at least this is off. Because there's also sometimes people inherit properties and they don't even really want to have to deal with it and it just sits there. And that happens all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
That's probate. That's probate, right? So you're looking for direct to owner scenarios. So over 95% of the deals we did have been direct to owner. And all the students that we work with, we teach them how to buy properties direct to owner and bypass the realtor. When a property is in the market, it's already too late because everyone can see it. That's where all the competition is. So when you do market direct to owner, whether you're going through probate with someone passing away or delinquent water bills, or you're targeting people in foreclosure, or you're looking at people that are behind in their property taxes, all these are motivation points, all right? These are distress points, and you can make a great deal, solve their scenario. It's a win for them. It's a win for you because you get a great price. And you're not competing on the property.
Now, you've done over 1,400 transactions, real estate transactions, but they haven't all been smooth. And you've had issues, too.
course.
You've had property manager try to steal your property.
Yes.
So let's talk about some of those scenarios and what you learned from it.
Yeah, look, so I thought everything was going smooth. We were all, we were growing, and I hired a third party property manager. And what I learned really quickly is that you really have to vet the people that you work with because they essentially stole my money, right? They didn't pay me for almost a year. I've got 180 grand in mortgages a month, right? So so if I'm not getting rent and the mortgages
Things
still
go
need to get
south
paid,
fast.
things can go south very fast. Luckily, we were able to resolve it. We got to court. We fired them. We got them out of it. We sold a couple property to bring some cash back in the business and kind of reposition. But for the big learning point there is that you need to vet the people that you're working with. Speak to references, just like the fake gurus out there. Ask for proofs. Ask for HUDs. Speak to current clients. Make sure they're happy. And only at that point do you move forward and hand your portfolio. And what I might have done differently there is, as opposed to handing them 600 properties to rent, I might have given them 10, 20 and
Let's
then
see how
eased
that
it
goes.
in.
Yeah.
But I was super excited. Like, I'm going to focus on growing.
And they probably really gabbed you. Like,
exactly.
Oh, you do that. I'm going to go
Exactly.
do all this.
How has technology been helping you with your business too? I know everybody's talking about AI and the capabilities
Absolutely.
there.
So I tell you that I reach out to these property owners and we text them, we call them, we do online ads to property owners, and when they respond, they're actually responding to an AI.
Oh.
So only after we've vetted them and find out that they're really motivated do they get on the phone with someone on our team to actually go and close the deal and see the property. So it's really streamlined the process, and I think it's only going to get easier and easier as it becomes more complex and more in depth as AI stuff.
And a lot of people are hearing this, great ideas, but you need a mentor, and you actually
Absolutely.
walk
Yeah.
people through.
Absolutely.
And I know you're so successful that your course is $2,000.
Yes.
But we're giving out freebies.
That's right. So it's our Millionaire Funding Program. All right. So you're going to get our ebook. You're also going to get our online, funding program, and it's going to show you all the creative ways to structure your real estate deals. So we're fighting the misconception you need to have a lot of money to do real estate. We show you how to use hard money the right way. We show you how to get debt service coverage ratio loans, so rental loans that don't require your personal, financials to be right. So you can still own rental properties and allow the rental properties to qualify for the loan. All right. We show you how to use seller financing, how to get joint ventures together and partner with people to get a deal done. Maybe one person has the money, one person has the deal. You joint venture, you get the deal done, and you figure out some profit split or something, right? How to use private money. So we talk about all the creative ways to get your deal funded, so you absolutely can close your first real estate deal.
What do you think about investing in affordable housing right now, too? Because that's something that's such a necessity.
Yes.
But it's not so easy to navigate.
Yeah, no, it can be a little bit hard, but once you figure it out and you get the right attorney and stuff on your team to kind of maneuver the paperwork, it's very, very profitable. We're actually doing that right now in Atlanta, where we're building quite a few units on the southwest side of Atlanta, and we're targeting affordable housing. Now, why? I think there's a need there, right? Everyone's building the luxury stuff that's super expensive. And if things go south, if the market doesn't move, people go down a price point in where they want to live, right? And so we're filling that void. That's number one. Number two, there's a lot of incentives from the counties and from the cities for affordable housing. There's grants, right, that you can use. There are tax abatements. There's all these different things that you can do that make it very, very lucrative for the person that's willing to go through the red tape.
And you don't have to do any of this alone. Let me get the
That's
number.
Absolutely.
And you shouldn't, because
And you
you'll bump
shouldn't.
your head a lot, and those can be costly mistakes.
Absolutely.
Text HERO to, wait, I don't have my glasses. Tell them the phone number.
689-215-7664.
The word HERO. And thank you so much for doing that for our audience. My
Oh,
goodness.
my pleasure.
I know.
just
I love
wanna-
kicking it about real estate.
This is my pleasure. I really do believe that our people deserve, right, the opportunity to build wealth. That our people deserve the opportunity to escape the rat race like I did 15 years ago, right? I was working 80-hour plus weeks. On paper, I was doing well. I was successful, but I was miserable. I had no time to be with my wife or girlfriend at the time. I had no time to go visit even my parents when I wanted to, because I was exhausted when I got out of work. And as a matter of fact, I was working Monday through Saturday, and after being there, they said, "Hey, can you come in for a short 10-hour work days on Sundays?"
Whoa.
I'm like, "What? My
Welcome
one
to
day
Wall
off?
Street.
Welcome to
I
Wall
was
Street."
there.
That's
Exactly.
wild.
I was
So
there.
I
Things
believe
happen for a reason,
exactly.
for sure.
So I believe that we all deserve the opportunity, and hopefully I can be that person to take them down the road to all the things that I know are possible.
And I believe in this time right now, we do have to be really proactive in making sure that we're good and our community is good.
Absolutely.
And so while we could be disappointed about so many different things and nervous about the future, you got to secure yours and the people around you. And that's how you can help really build
Absolutely.
real power and wealth.
That's why in November we're bringing you all sorts of gifts to
right.
our audience.
It's the
This is
November to
amazing.
remember,
We
right?
have a
November
we
to
have a
remember.
November
Oh,
to
gosh.
remember. Thank you so much for doing this for us.
That's right. I do want to say one thing. It's an honor to be here on the show. I've watched The Breakfast Club and all these things for years. I grew up in New York and Jersey, all right, and to be here with y'all is kind of surreal. So thank you for the invite, and I'm extremely excited to help your viewers, jump into the real estate space, because it's possible. Anyone can do it, right? You just need a little bit of push sometimes.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Text HERO to 689-215-7664.
Happy Wealth Wednesdays.